This movie made me a misogynist.
I don't think so.
When you cross
I think
a
we're
mentally
done
ill
with you,
loner
folks. That's
with a
it.
society that abandons him and beats him like
Call
trash,
the police,
I'll
Gene.
tell you what you're getting.
Two girls, one recap. The podcast. We're back.
Daddy, chill.
Skip.
Daddy, chill.
Skip it about that. Bruh. Skip.
Hi, everybody. Dude, I'm
nervous. It's been like a year. I forget how to do this.
Varsha is going non-verbal.
Yeah, low-key.
I said hi, guys, and Varsha looked down like she was shy as fuck.
Yeah, I saw
Oh, wait.
it.
I'm trying to cuss less because your mom was like, cuss less.
No, she's not gonna listen to this.
Okay, but I'm gonna try so we
I
can.
like to cuss a little.
Just a little. Oh, yeah. It's like, what's your favorite cuss word? Probably fuck. Okay, but I'm really gonna try to not
Okay,
because
well, I'm not making any promises.
we're trying to get monetized this year.
Oh,
Manifesting.
So, okay. I'll be quiet.
Because only cuss words come out of your mouth.
When I'm not thinking, sometimes, yeah. It's okay. Anyways,
Okay.
we should go over, like, what we've been up to this past year.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we started this last year with full, like, excitement.
Mm-hmm.
And then
And
Amiela
then-
went away.
No! I was having a bad time at work and then I got fired and then things got kind of crazy.
And she traveled a lot the past year. And,
That's true.
yeah, so I feel
Well,
like... I mean, we could have...
So did you.
Yeah, me too. I mean, it was just not matching up, I guess.
Yeah,
And then,
things
like,
were just going crazy.
And, you know, I'm still kind of 90% unemployed. 10%
okay.
working. So
Fun
figuring
employed.
out... Yeah, fun employed. Still figuring out stuff.
Yeah. So updates about since our last episode. When was our last episode?
I want to think, like, October.
Of 2023?
I think so.
Guys, did you guys miss
2023?
us? Yeah, it was 2023. We didn't record anything last year. That's why I wanted to do a little... Okay, so here's our agenda, because we're going crazy since we haven't done this in a really long time.
Yeah.
Our agenda is we were going to shoot the shit. Since an update since our last episode, we're going to talk about our mental state, about movies, and, like, how we've been consuming for the past year, 2024. And then we're going to talk about the future of the podcast and other fun stuff. So we kind of went over the updates part. Yeah.
I mean, I guess with, like, how we've been consuming,
Mhm.
I think Amiela has been consuming.
I have been consuming a lot of movies, but only because, like, I watch it mainly with my beau, JR, and it's, like, kind of the only thing that we can do because we're long distance. But also just, like, after work, I just kind of like to turn something on and, like, turn my brain off, which is kind of funny to, like, do that with movies. We were talking, Varsha and I were talking in the car, and we were talking about how, like, I watched this Mina Lay video, and she talked about how, like, in the past she would just, like, consume a lot of media just for the sake of saying that she watched this amount of movies this year, or, like, I want to read this amount of books this year. And it's, like, a lot of quantity over quality, and like, I feel like my attention span, even though I've watched, like, a crap ton of movies this year, I only really remember a handful of them, or, like, a lot of them, or, like, you know, I was also saying that it's really not, like, it's probably the movie's fault too that it's forgettable, but it's also, like, on me to, like, remember the stuff that I watch. So
Or, like, watching with more, like...
mindfulness.
Yeah.
And, like, what's the word for it?
I mean, I relate to this feeling
Intentional.
of, like... There's, like, infinite media, and, like, you know, you want to, like, know it all. and
Yeah.
have opinions on it all,
Mhm.
so you can sound smart and cool. And
Yeah.
be
exactly.
totally cool. Basically, be totally cool. But, yeah, and then I think the pressure of, like, oh, I should, like, consume these things.
Mhm.
And then, for me personally, I have not really been consuming as much.
Mhm.
Like, you know, there was a time where I'd be watching, you know, so many movies a week, and now it's like, usually if I watch 1 to 2 movies a week, it's like a good week. So yeah, I think it's gone significantly down, but I mean, it's not that I'm not consuming anything.
Yeah, no.
No, wait, what I was trying to get at is like this idea of like I want to watch all this stuff, but it feels like a task to sit and consume it that I end up like putting it in my watch list.
Yeah.
Like this horrible thing that I've started doing on YouTube is like the activity of adding a YouTube video to my watch list is like kind of scrolling Pinterest. It's like horrible.
No,
like, if I watch
I feel like that's a common...
It'll somehow like add to my image.
Yeah.
Like, I should eventually get to that. That's okay.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Sorry. Continue on.
But yeah, so that's... I think I formed more bad habits on that.
Yeah, I agree. I was just sorry if you heard like a weird noise. I was pulling up our bio because I was gonna bring out that I think when we started this podcast, we were really lost ourselves because it's about like wanting to consume more. And it's okay, let me read to you our bio.
That's so true. Now
Yeah.
that I'm thinking about it.
Our bio is, if you too feel like there's a never enough time in your life to consume the never-ending stream of media in the world, never fear. 2 Girls, 1 Recap is here. Follow along the journey of a couple of downtrodden silly gooses who drag their broken bodies out of the sludge of capitalism-induced depression to reconnect with their love of media.
Yeah,
and
it's very like, oh, we're not doing anything, like, let's get back into it.
Yeah, it's like consume. Like, we wanted to, like, consume. And, like, also, like, a lot of, like, the 2 episodes that we did, it was, like, over an hour because we were just, like, talking about, like, so much stuff. Like, we were, like, trying to combat capitalism with more consuming, which is really funny.
See, it's funny because, like, I still haven't, like, unlearned that mindset. Like, even sitting here right now, my thought is, like, we're starting this up again. I'm gonna get back into it. I'm gonna start watching those YouTube videos. I'm gonna start watching these movies. I'm gonna, like, become an intellectual.
Yeah.
But it's, like, also unrealistic, I feel. At least where I am mentally in my life right now. I'm in my flop era still hoping for a way out. So I just haven't had, like, the mood to watch a movie, honestly. Like, it's been brain rot, like, reels as per my previous year ago. So we haven't, like, grown much, I feel, in that aspect. But I don't know.
We're learning together.
I think I definitely have seen some movies this year that made me, like, I have been writing more reviews for a few movies that, like, stood out to me. So, like, I think I'm doing that more now than I did in the past. Which kind of goes along with what Amiela was saying, how, like, if you're going to watch something, maybe sit with it for a little bit. Or if you're going to, like, even read something, sit with it. What do you think? What is that movie about? Yeah. Not that everything is deep, but...
Yeah, I mean, like, I feel like there's, like the whole conversation of, like, anti-intellectual... Like, everyone's so afraid to be, like, intellectual now, you know? Like, everyone's like, oh, it's not a big deal, but sometimes it is a big deal, and it's good to, like, sit instead of consuming. We have to digest.
Yeah, I mean, I like to read into, like, dumb movies too.
Yeah, and but even those, like, mean something, you know.
Yeah, it's just thinking about, like, whatever content you consume, like, how do you feel about it? Because, like, I think a lot of people see movies as just entertainment, but it's also, like, a reflection of, like, the society
that we live in. Like, even we watched Guantanamo Bay, like Harold and Kumar go to it's the most absurd movie ever. We're gonna really briefly discuss this. This was actually going to be our main topic of this podcast.
Yeah, we're recording today, but, like, we had talked about, like, we had, like, a whole lineup, like, a couple weeks ago. We're like, we need to get back into this podcast, and our lineup, I think, was going to be, like, Guantanamo Bay, Perfect Days, and Notting Hill?
Substance or something?
And Substance. Yeah. I don't know. Like, it was
crazy. We were, like, lost. we're still lost because we're like, we want to consume so much rather than digest a little.
It's the one thing with, like, planning, like, what's our watch schedule going to be? Like, how are we going to, like, pair these movies together to talk about? But I think, starting off, it would just be, like, maybe we can just get right into it. Like, movies that we saw in, like, the past year, maybe even up till now, that, like, stood out to us.
Yeah, but first, okay, I wanted to talk about the future of the podcast before we go, like, kind of just to segue to, like, you know, the way we're consuming now. We're planning to do kind of more of, like, a bi-weekly podcast, so, like, twice a month, and Varsha and I are gonna go watch, like, a movie together, and probably just gonna discuss, like, one movie rather than, like, all the media we consumed.
Yeah, because I think that was a quite big goal.
Ambitious, yeah.
Because we were like, podcast, music, this,
every
that,
media,
everything.
we're
and
gonna
then I
consume it
realized
all.
that, damn, I don't really do anything but watch reels, so, like,
Yeah.
what am I really consuming?
Or, yeah, and just, like, kind of sitting on, like, one thing at a time. I think this year, in is quality and out is quantity. You know what I mean? Yeah. No more gluttony in
Yeah.
consuming.
Yeah. And I think it'll be fun because it gives us a chance to hang out.
Yeah,
I mean, we anyways do, but, like, at least, like, now we get to have a movie night.
We get to eat and digest media together.
So.
Yeah. Okay. Well, back to what Varsha was saying.
Yeah, movies in the past year, or maybe even up till now, that, like, stood out.
Yeah, that stood out to us. And we're gonna list down, like, just, like, all those movies that we liked, and they're not gonna be in order. So this
not
is,
in order.
Yeah, and also, like, not in, like,
we might not discuss all of them.
Yeah, and they're not all released in 2024. Just, like, the first time watches that we watched 2024 that made an impression on us. So do you want to start yours?
Yeah, I can start. So my list is Perfect Days, the Japanese movie. This old Tamil movie, old as in, like, early 2000s, called Vallavan, which is an insane movie, but I'll get into that later. Then I watched Paddington for the first time, which was just incredible, easiest 5 I've ever given. Then there's also this other Tamil movie about, like, casteism called Pariyerum Perumal. And then I watched this movie called Thelma about this, like, old lady getting revenge on her scammer, which was really, really fun. This Bollywood movie called Lapata Ladies, which is, like, the best movie about feminism. Nice. Best movie about feminism I've seen this year, I feel. And then this other Tamil movie that's, I think, from, like, the mid 2000s still, like the 2010s maybe, called Kadalum Kadindu Pogum, which I had a lot to say about that. I, like, wrote a review on my Letterboxd because it just made me think about love and life and who you're allowed to love and missed opportunities. Like, I think that might be one I might want to talk about later, but
what is it?
It's called Kadalum Kadindu Pogum, which is, like, love will also, like, fade away, I guess. Yeah. I don't know if I'm translating that correctly, but and then lastly is this movie called Blue Velvet. It's a David Lynch movie that, again, I have no deep thoughts towards, except when I was watching it, I was extremely locked in because it's absolute batshit insane. Like, it's just complete
Lynchian.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening, but it had, like, I watched this one with our other friend right now. I was like, we were screaming at the TV. I don't know, like, it was the weirdest thing.
Yeah, that's been on my watch list for a while, so
I think I'd rewatch that. Just I have no deep thoughts about it. Like, I couldn't tell you what it's about, but it was weird. Yeah.
I feel like that's so Lynchian. R.I.P. to the goat.
And also this year, a couple months ago, I think early February, I watched this movie with Amiela and Rina called Julie and Julia.
My favorite.
Yeah, I was my first time watching, and I was actually resistant. I wanted to watch Pirates of the Caribbean that day.
She wanted to so bad, and we had to.
Can we please watch Pirates of the Caribbean? And they were like,
no, it's
not the vibes.
Because we had a bonfire, we had hot chocolate. We needed to watch Julie and Julia.
Yeah. They didn't want to see me act out the whole script of Pirates of the Caribbean.
We could do that a different time.
But yeah, and I ended up really, really loving it. Like, going into this movie, I barely know anything about Julia Child. I'm not interested in French people. No offense, guys. So, like, I was like, whatever, cooking. Like, I don't know. I don't even cook. So, but I don't know. The thing that I really appreciate about that movie is, like, the dedication to, like, so it's basically this blogger who basically goes through Julia Child's like cookbook and makes like 500 something recipes within
the entire cookbook. Yeah,
goes through the entire cookbook in 365 days, right? And she blogs daily about all the stuff that she's making. And like something personally that I struggle with is discipline and then doing the things that I say I want to do. You guys can probably tell with the way this podcast is going. But,
I mean, it's both of us.
Yeah, so I think that I just found it so like I was just very, very impressed by the ability to dedicate yourself to like such a huge project and like complete it fully, you know, even if like it didn't have the outcome that she wanted. Like
just like doing it,
just
like,
doing it and being able to prove to yourself that you can do the thing that you wanted, this like huge thing that, you know, you undertake. So like yeah, that really influenced me because I'm also in the process of studying for this one certification, and I was locked in that full month after watching this movie because I was just like, I can't be doing anything else but this thing. So I don't know, it impacted me in that way. So I would say, yeah. So I would say like I have starred like my favorites. My favorites would be Julia, Lapata Ladies, Perfect Days, which we can talk about a little bit. Because that also has like kind of a life,
same vibe,
same vibe, impact, helps you like think about your own life and where you want to go.
We are going through
yeah, I think that's the main thing when you're like in a place in your life where
it's
like,
good to see someone who can like go through it and like inspire you to do better. So yeah,
help you appreciate the current moment but also push you to keep going towards the future.
Exactly.
And I think that's like the best type of movie to watch when you're like in
a rut. Yeah.
In a rut, yeah.
And I'm glad that you like Julie and Julia because my aunt showed me that when I was very little, and I liked it for like the cozy aspect. Like I remember just like really liking her apartment. I still really love her apartment, the New York one.
It's very cute.
And but it like also like more than just like being inspired to do what you want. It's also about like getting inspired by like people who came before you. Like I saw this like really impactful like review where it's like she's like basically like you can get inspired by other people and it doesn't have to be the exact same thing, but it's like I'm gonna do my own thing. You know what I mean? I'm like rephrasing it badly, but yeah, that movie is like I watch it like it's my most comfort movie. Like every time I'm in a rut, every time like I feel like I'm stuck somewhere, like that movie, I just put it on and it like gets me back on my feet. It's so good, makes me want to write again. So
yeah, honestly, that movie made me want to like write or at least like document my progress in whatever I'm doing. You know?
And it's just like
be more intentional even. I really liked that about it.
Yeah. And anyway, yeah.
Do you want to talk about Perfect Days a little bit?
Oh yeah, well I wanted to talk about my...
Oh yeah, go with your list first.
Oh, you forgot about me?
I'm sorry.
Okay, so here's my list. I kept it to 10 just because that was like the original plan, but also to stop me from like overthinking. Oh wait,
before I forget, I do want to mention one last thing about Julie and Julia. One thing that stood out to me that's absolutely unrelated to anything deep was that so
I mean, it doesn't have to be deep.
Julie, I think she's the blogger, right?
Yes.
So Julie gets in a fight with her boyfriend near the end of the movie, and he like goes away for the night, like he sleeps somewhere else. I don't know what your opinion on this, but if my boyfriend was to sleep somewhere else post fight, and then I have to like wait for him to come home for us to talk, I would like I don't know, that would make me insane. I can't do that. That's like a sign of disrespect. Be angry and don't talk to me. Stay in the house. Don't go somewhere else.
I want to preface, I agree with you, but I think what's really funny about Varsha is she likes to put herself in the shoes of the character, and the
we have to talk about apartment then. We have to talk about apartment.
And the way she rates movies on Letterboxd is if she relates, if she can relate, and if she would watch it again. Like,
not always. It doesn't have to be the exact situation.
But I just think that's really amusing. Because we're going to talk about Notting Hill, and this is going to come back to that, and I think it's going to be really funny.
Yeah, actually, no, this is true, because, like, my ratings, like, sometimes I can be objective, right? And it's not necessarily that I have to have like actual things in common with the characters, but you know, like either the emotions or like thought process has to be like I understand this, or otherwise like I just can't. Like we watched this movie. Well, I watched for the first time The Apartment this year, and Amiela loves this movie. What did you say? Like two lonely people coming together?
We can move to that in Notting Hill because I'm gonna.
Okay. I keep interrupting Amiela.
Yeah, this is my time to shine. You keep taking my spotlight.
Okay, give your list. Give your list.
Okay, so this is my list and not in order, but I really loved. And these are the movies I watched in 2024. I loved Cleaners. Okay, Cleaners is this like Filipino like independent film, and basically in the Philippines there's like assigned cleaners every week. Basically like you clean the whole classroom, and this like the plot like in the back of the DVD is like youth looking like cleaners. Fuck, I forgot already. But basically, it's just like about these short stories of these different kids who are the assigned cleaners in a dirty world, quote unquote, right? And it's like there's something dirty in that world. It may be like shitting your pants or like your dad's corrupt. Like it's like about like disrupting the expectations placed upon you, and it's like done in such a funny and creative way, like literally so creative. Like I've never. So the way they did it is they filmed the whole movie, they printed out the entire movie, and then they scanned that movie and like put it together like stop motion, and then they like colored it in manually. And it's like, okay, I'm like ranting on this for more than we promised, but
it's really a good movie.
Yeah, but I'm like, in like such like a world where like AI, everybody's talking about AI, like easy, like, you know, like here's how to do it fast, here's how to do it quick, like, and then in contrast to this movie where everything is done by hand, and the movie itself is about being so innately human, like doing all this shitty thing, like literally there's a lot of shit in this movie, and it's just like there's nothing more human than that. And that's what I love about that movie so much, is that like, I don't know, it's just so human, and it's so funny. It's so like, the humor is right up my alley, but it's also so truthful. Like it's like, it doesn't cover like, it doesn't like hide the fact that things are bad, but it like approaches life with such humor and with such grace, like even though like a lot of the actions in these people are like messy and funny. But I just, that's like my favorite. Like I put it on my top 4. It's like my favorite ever. Like it's such a good movie.
No, genuinely the filmmaking was just so creative, and I think that was like my favorite part to watch. It's just like visually so fun to watch. Yeah. And like each short story, I don't know, it's just very engaging, and it's cute, and they're all like students, you know. Yeah. So, like, bits and pieces can be relatable. So like I liked it. And it reminds me, well, like, yeah, I grew up in the Philippines. I went to school there, and it's just like, it's really cool also to see like the way you grew up like represented. Like I know representation, like, but literally like it's really cool to see that, and it's part of the Criterion collection, which is really cool. It's just cool. I loved it. You should watch it. I think it's deserving of like recognition. It's really cool. If you go to my Letterboxd and look at my review for there, I have a Google Drive file where you can watch it with subtitles if you would like. But anyway, that's my number 1. I loved Paris, Texas as well. We're going to talk about Perfect Days, and it's the same director. Oh. That I also put that in my top 4 because I'm still thinking about it. Like the entire movie is just so good. It's kind of like Perfect Days, but a little more like rough around the edges, and a lot like the characters are a lot more complex because they're also bad people, which you know what I mean, like done like worse things. But yeah, that's that. I love In Shang. I finally got to watch it. It's a film with. It was made in the 70s. Is that also like a Filipino? Yeah, it was made like during the Marcos era. And basically it's just showing like
this woman through the slums of Manila, which, you know, back in like the Marcos era, like a lot of the movies that were coming out of there were just about like, oh, like the grandeur of Manila, but they like try to hide the fact that there are like poor people who live here still, and they're just like hiding that from the media. And there's more to it, but I just really enjoyed it. It's also in the Criterion Collection. Not that it like things like that matter, like, you know, to like whatever. I just think it's cool. I also, back to the Filipino stuff, I watched this like thriller, Kisap Mata, which means like in the blink of an eye. It's this like thriller horror thing where like this dad is, it's also made in the Marcos era. Basically, it's just like showing that like things can be hidden beneath the cracks. Like there's something going, like this whole family is like a picture perfect family. Like the dad's a police officer and like the mom is like blah blah, and they're like a perfect family, but like things are happening just behind closed doors. It's really fucked up. It has like, maybe it's a spoiler, but it has incest. But I really enjoy, like the whole movie I felt like I was being choked, and like I feel like that's really impactful. Okay, and then just speed run. I love Sing Sing, really underrated. Wish it won in the Oscars. The Player is a very good movie. I have not stopped thinking about that one either. You just have to look up the plot, but it's a movie about movies, about making movies, about, it's like literally, I forgot what else he had, like, oh, he did Nashville. I have to watch that too. But I love the movie so much, like I'm still thinking about it. Baby Girl. Okay, I gave that movie a 3, but I am still thinking about that movie. There's something I can be a preacher, teacher, I can be.
Oh my god, is that why that song is trending?
Yeah.
Dude, okay, so when my dad got the classic iPod, like back in like, oh my god, I want to say 2005, like he had a gift from his workplace or something, that big one. And he had like a bunch of English songs on it. These are songs that my dad does not listen to music in English. So I don't know if it was preloaded or like how he got these songs, but that was one of the what's his name, Michael?
I actually don't know who sang it.
Well, he has that other song. He did the Careless Whisper.
Oh,
it's the Careless Whisper guy.
George Michael.
Yeah, so he had that song, right? And then he had this other song called Faith. And yeah, so the song that you were singing and then Faith, I had both of those on repeat as a kid. That's my childhood.
You and your dad were Baby Girl before Baby Girl was.
Don't know what that means, and I'm scared. I'm scared.
I shouldn't have said that.
What I know about that movie.
I retract everything I said.
Yikes.
Yeah. But going down. After Sun, that movie fucking destroyed me, but I like.
Is that the Korean one?
No, it's the Paul Mescal one about
confusing that with like burning or something.
Dude, I'm not even kidding you. I say I cry in every movie I watch. This movie destroyed me. I was so depressed for like 3 days.
Give me like a one line.
It's basically about. Like depressed dad goes on vacation with daughter. I don't want to say anything more, but it's like, oh man, so heavy. But like, you know, like when it's like even sad movies like that, like, and it made me feel that way, that movie has to be something, you know? Yeah. But anyway, so I had to shout it out. Thelma, we also talked about that. I love that movie.
Yeah.
And
very cute.
And Perfect Days also. And a quick shout out to these 5 movies. Dinner in America, the John Wick series, Long Legs. I love Long Legs. I don't care what anybody says.
On my birthday. It was, do the voice.
Oh, I didn't. Oh fuck! I forgot.
You forgot it.
Okay, wait. Okay. Aw, the train is here. While the train goes, I'll think about it. Oh, it's the almost birthday girl. I forgot to wear my long legs. That's like I'm just doing a bit.
No. But anyway. Amiela used to do the voice like crazy. Like there's one scene where he's like in the car and like
he's
freaking
like,
out.
Mommy, Daddy, save me from the hell of living.
That movie was hilarious. Actually,
that was like whoa. Nicolas Cage went in my body. Whoa. And last 2 shout outs, Young Frankenstein and Challengers. Yup.
I think the thing I remember the most about Challengers is like the way it was filmed. I was genuinely impressed by the cinematography.
I agree.
Can't say the same about that guy's next movie, Queer, which was awful. God awful. I can't.
Yeah, I feel like maybe, what if we're just like
Luca
kind of...
Guadagnino.
What if we're just stupid? Hey, I'm happy to be stupid.
Yeah, I could not tell you what that movie's about, and it's just like another old man, like young boy that don't like young, like
yeah, why does he like that?
Because he's probably a weird freak who likes.
I mean, you gotta be a freak to make these types of movies, especially Challengers. They got like snubbed.
That's a movie for freaky people.
They got snubbed at the Oscars. They could have at least been put in the soundtrack section because that soundtrack was bomb. I think
they should have gotten something for cinematography.
Yeah, they got, because of fucking Emilia Perez, they got like smushed to the side.
Is that that movie with what's her face? Zoe Saldana?
Yeah, she won Best Actress.
I don't know anything about that, but I heard it was garbage.
It was about her being a trans woman, and then it was just like a bad, like...
They didn't hire a trans woman to play
Yeah, it was Zoe Saldana. She's a cis woman.
Why would you do that when you have tons of, like, trans actresses?
I know.
Like, they could have put that one person who was in,
Well, actually, I don't know if Zoe Saldana was a trans woman. I actually don't know anything. So do not take my word for it.
I'm pretty sure she's cis.
I think it's about a trans woman, but I'm not sure if it's Zoe Saldana playing.
Oh, like that.
So it might be something. Yeah, but I know Selena Gomez is in there, and every clip I've seen has been against my will, and it's horrible. Like,
really?
It's like singing, like it's a musical, quote unquote, but it's like horrible. I'll show you after this.
Okay.
But anyway, do you want to quickly talk about Perfect Day since that's both on our list?
Yes. It's just like this really like slice of life type movie. You just follow this old man and he has his little routines, and he's very like precise about his routines.
Yeah, it
but
has
then
to be.
in the movie you have like, you know, little things happen where like his routine gets broken by like different people that he meets. But like even in those moments where it's not his preference for it to be broken, he like goes with the flow and still does what he needs to do. And I think like that's like just the best way of like living. You know what I mean?
Living.
Like, I don't know how to explain
Living.
It's like you have to take every single moment as it comes. The way he functions is very like, even though he has his routine, he's just in that exact moment. That's how it felt when you watched it. Like, if you're not into like a slow-paced movie, this might not be for you, but I happen to like that, where you're just like witnessing this person live out their life. And you know, he has like, you know, he comes downstairs like before he goes to work, he has like this little vending machine outside of his house that like gets his little coffee, you know,
and then like
drives to work, plays his little tape, you know. Like it's just like the small moments in life, like the drive between work and or like home to work, and you get to like play your favorite song and you just sing along to that song and enjoy the moment as you drive. Or like, you know, you're cleaning something and it's like you clean it perfectly and it's nice. Or like the part where you had like the little tic-tac-toe game with the random stranger.
Oh yeah, in the bathroom. Yeah,
it's just like, it's such a tiny thing, but like that 20-second period of your day can bring you so much like joy. Like you look forward to that in the next day, you know. Like just like,
I think, yeah, I agree. And I think like the other thing that I appreciate about this movie, it's like the same, like I think this director Wim Wenders, he also directed Paris, Texas. I think what he's really good at is like showing the complexity of being a person in a very subtle way. You know what I mean? Like, even though like he's doing all of these things and he's like happily doing it, he loves all his songs, there's also like a sadness to it. You know, he's estranged with his family. You find that out later. And like he can't even like, you know, he hasn't talked to his niece. Like he hasn't seen her in a really long time.
Or like his sister who, you know, his niece randomly shows up at his door and he like slowly, it like throws off his schedule and completely his routine is off, but like he makes the best of it and like bonds with her, finds pleasure in sharing his life with her. Right? And you know, when her mom comes, which is his sister, who he has like difficult relations with. You know,
it's just
you can see like the pain,
like
that he carries,
and it's like we don't have to know everything about this man. Like he's only shown us like the little bits of his life that he enjoys, but I don't know. There's just something so like there's gonna be like a really like pattern to what I like, but I like when a movie is really human, like when it shows like complexity in a person, that even though like he makes the best out of this thing, there's always going to be a hint of sadness that he'll never connect with the people that he quote unquote loves.
I guess I took it like the opposite way, right?
Yeah.
I took it like despite all the pain that one carries with that makes you like complicated, because every person is complicated. Everyone has like, they have like a whole world that they've experienced that's separate, like,
but it's about taking in what is in
like,
the moment.
It's like despite all that pain that you carry, you can still find pleasure in your every single day. There's always little good things to hold on to.
Yeah, I agree.
That like, I mean,
I completely agree. I think also, like, to me, like, this is so funny. Like, Inside Out, like, you can't have happiness without sadness. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just be fully happy. Like, like it's, like, literally that same thing where it's, like, that's what being human is. Like, you can't have one emotion and not have other emotions with you. Like, I think that
experiencing the full range and allowing yourself to feel,
allowing yourself.
Like, that's what I say all the time, like my personal philosophy is that existing on Earth is like hell, right? And you kind of have to like die to like not
to live,
you know, like to like whatever, like heaven or whatever is just not existing, because like they say, like desire equals pain, which is true, but I feel that having desire is what makes you a person. Having like the complex range of emotions, whether it's like angry, embarrassment, guilt, sadness, like all those are just as important as like joy.
Exactly. You know? Like, humans are nasty. We're made
out of... this movie so like romanticize your life, but not in like this toxic way that everything must be perfect, but in the way that like you accept life for what it is, good and bad. You accept people for who they are, good and bad. Everyone is complicated. Everything is complicated. But despite that all, you can still find joy in existence.
Exactly.
I think I needed this movie a lot because I have depression, and this past year and a half, 2 years has been quite difficult for me personally. So, like, my friends were like, watch this movie. You're going to really relate. Watch this movie. So I finally sat down to watch it, and genuinely it was very, like, it was a reminder that I needed, that despite, like, everything, there's still, like, look for those moments. Like, pay attention to your present. You know, notice the little details. Notice the wall. You know, like the lights on that come from the window.
Yeah, and how you're feeling right now. You know,
how you feel right now.
Now is now. Next time is next time.
Ima wa ima. Kondo wa kondo. I love that. It was just the cutest scene, and it's true.
Yeah, I love that movie.
Yeah, it's really good.
I feel like nobody ever talks about that. I've recommended it to everybody I know. Shout out Amy who watched it. Our friend, JR and I's friend Amy. She like cried. She showed it.
It's good.
Yeah. But yeah, that movie's really good. Did you want to talk about Singles Inferno or Thelma?
Well, I actually wanted to talk about one of the movies on my list that I would, well, two of them that I mentioned that I would super recommend. One of which is called Lapita Ladies, this Bollywood movie. Basically, it's about like, you know, women who have to, like, brides who have to, like, cover their, I'm losing words right now. They have to, like, they wear a veil that covers their head, and what happens, like, these two women get switched, right? Because they don't...
Aren't there 3 women?
Yeah, there were, like, 3 brides. They all have the same bride outfit, but these 2 women get switched. And, like, one of these women genuinely is, like, she and her husband... they love each other and they want to be together. But the other woman, she was kind of married off without her consent into this family, and the guy is kind of abusive, and you can tell that the family's values are very like money, and she just knows that, you know, she wants to study, she's getting married, it's not going to be a good life for her. So, but she accidentally gets switched to go to like the other guy with the other guy, and they have to like switch them back. And this movie, without being very like preachy or like disrespecting the like, I mean, people in these cultures have been following these for, like, generations, like stuff like head
Tradition,
covering your head, not saying your husband's name out loud, which also is like a funny moment where it's like, okay, like, where do you live? They don't know where they don't know the city that they live in. They don't know, like, they can't say their husband's name out loud to like find the guy, right? So it's like these small moments. They use like this silly situation to like, I guess, criticize and point out like, these rules that you have are really like dumb, kind of, right? But without in this way that's like very condescending and mocking, right? Like, it's not saying like your culture is so stupid and you guys are all dumb and you oppress women, but like it's kindly being like, hey, isn't this a little bit silly? Doesn't make sense actually, and it's just so wholesome and it's so funny. And I think I watched it like 4 or 5 times, and it just makes me like laugh and cry, and it's just so good. And there's such good examples of like female friendships and like strong women to look up to, and if you haven't seen that, like, that was my favorite watch, I think, of last year. This other movie that I wanted to mention is this Tamil movie called Kadalum Kadindu Pogum. That movie, it's kind of about this guy who works as like not a hitman. He's kind of like a goon, like an underhand for some like
goon?
But yeah, goon stuff. He's like, for this politician, he kind of just does like, hitman work, kind of, right?
He's like John Wick.
I guess. Well, I haven't seen John Wick.
Oh, really?
No, I haven't.
We have to watch
John Wick.
John
I started
Wick.
watching the first one and I never finished. So.
Dude, we have to.
Okay, we can do that. But basically, so he's like this. There's this girl who leaves her like native place and comes to Chennai, which is like a major city, and she's trying to like build up her career, even though her parents were like, oh, be safe, like, you don't have to like try new things, you can be safe at home with us, right? But she wants to push herself and move forward in life, figure out her career. And so like they end up being roommates, or not roommates, sorry, they end up being like neighbors. And like they find this like weird friendship kind of thing. But like it's like this, their relationship is like borders on the line of like friendship and romance, right? In which he starts to like her because of like their conversations and their time together, just a little, right? And like, again, they're spending a lot of time together, but it's one of those things where it could never be a romance, because like their difference in backgrounds, their difference in education, the type of work they do, things like that. They have like such it's like one of those things where even if romance could be possible between them because they have such good chemistry,
it's just like societally
it's one that both those characters wouldn't even fathom as a possibility. And that made me think of like how many like love stories just go unexplored because of these invisible, because my friends all know this because I keep talking about this, but free will, and like I unknowingly talk about free will a lot, and like, do we actually have that? Will we ever like act on that? Like, technically there's no rules for anything. Like, and I say this now, if I really wanted to, I could like use my credit card, go like under in money, buy a flight ticket, go to some random fucking city in Ghana or something, and then decide I want to be a fruit vendor, like beg somebody for a job because I'm an illegal immigrant, and then be a fruit vendor. Like, who's gonna actually stop me besides like these
the government?
besides the government. I mean, okay, yes, but I mean, like, I could actually like, I don't know, like, who's gonna stop me from like running down the street, like running down Amiela's like building screaming right now? Like, I could do that. Like, I get so fascinated with those weird videos where like, have you seen that one person, like that one girl who like, she'll go on the beach, she'll be like, can you record this for me? And then she starts on all fours like running at people. Like, I am fascinated with that content.
Hey, we can start doing that right now.
We could.
I think maybe you're a pussy.
Well, yeah, that's a part of it, right? Like, we're so bound by our social, like, like, I don't know, like, these made-up rules that we have created in society. Not that it's bad, because obviously some are needed and necessary, but, like, thinking about, like, the more people that you connect with, the more tied down you are to, like, what choices you'll make, right? And, like, the more of what's generally societally, acceptable. Like, for example, both these characters are from, like, different financial backgrounds. They both, like, he doesn't have, like, in quotes, a real job. You know what I mean? Because he's, like, a hitman. And then she's, like, you know, a career woman. But they had, when they talked to each other, they had things that they could relate on. They had emotions they could relate on. Technically, you can meet someone who's completely different from you. And, like, because at the end of the day, we're all human, even if our experiences are not exactly the same, the feelings that we have experienced, there's definitely overlapping based on, like, the context that you're from. There's always something in common you could find with someone different than you if you, like, put the effort into try. Yeah. So I felt like, and, like, these two characters, they meet up. He does a lot for her because he, like, likes her, and they're friends, kind of, right? But she doesn't really do much for him back. It's very, like, she's taking, he's giving, right? They don't, like, even for her getting this job interview at the end, he, like, goes all out to make sure she gets that chance. And she does succeed in life. And then, you know, he does his own thing, and they meet up a year later or something like that. And she's in this car, and he's working. He finally got a real job and working at this gas station. And in India, they fill your tank for you, not like in America. So, like, he's working like that, and, like, she's in the car, and, like, they, like, smile at each other. And, like, this moment for me was extremely upsetting. Really? Even though, like, it's like that moment is celebrated by a lot of people as, like, you know, despite them not, you know, being in each other's life, it's like they still recognize that they have that friendship, that connection. But for me, it was like, I don't know, that moment made me cry. Like, it made me so upset. Like,
it made you cry out of anger?
Not anger, but it was like
sad, like you.
I don't even remember. I was just like, it just didn't. It was disappointing. It was like, and he's serving her now too. Like, is this even a friendship? Yeah. You know what I mean? This could have been something if they were allowed to explore that, but it's one of those, like, they themselves would not even consider to explore it. So it just made me think about, like, life, I guess. Like, I don't know.
Life.
But anyways, it's a really good movie. Music is also good. And yeah, the actors are great.
Is this the movie that your brother said that, like, you liked it and it's, like, not good or something? What was that movie? You mentioned it in the car. I don't know.
Oh, no. That's this other movie called Vallavan. This movie, it's, you could call it, like, a mass movie, so it's just about, like, having super, like, fun moments or whatever. It's just, like, the side characters are great. It has a lot of moments where you're like, hell yeah, right? And I think my original review for this movie is, like, I really love this movie the way my brother liked, like, the Top Gun, like...
I haven't seen that, yeah.
It's just, like... It's conservative, like, propaganda type movie, and my brother was like, it's just really well made. It's
Forrest
like,
Gump.
Yeah.
It's like Forrest.
But, like, this movie for me, if I was a misogynistic man, I would go, like, batshit insane. Like, this would be my favorite movie of all time. So, like, I can't explain. This was just like, I was like, yeah, hell yeah, fuck these bitches. Fuck these bitches up. Great soundtrack. Everyone knows it. It's like a classic movie, right? So, like, everyone knows it. The thing that I noticed is, like, so there's this one scene where, like, the main guy... Like, he gets, like... Okay, this is interesting to me. Okay. So, basically, the main conflict in this movie is, like, the main guy, he likes this girl who is older than him by 3 years. Right? She's, like, an assistant professor or whatever at, like, the college he's at. Right? But basically, for her, she's like, age gap! That's, like, ridiculous. This is ridiculous. You're younger than me. I could never date a man that's younger than me. And this is, like, a main conflict. And, right, so, like, the part where they think, like, his friend is just like, what's wrong with that? And they have this whole, like... Is
it a music? Like, they start singing?
No. Okay. Well, I mean, it's a musical, yes, because all indie movies are kind of like that. But, no, basically, they have, like, this dramatic, like, motivational music. And she's just like, what's wrong with dating a girl that's older than you? There's nothing wrong with that. What is our society so regressed that we can't even date someone older than us?
I'm doing the background music.
So it's like they think they're being really progressive in that sense, which I thought was hilarious, maybe for the time.
Yeah.
But, like, this is not the first Tamil movie I've seen this happen, but like when two characters have sex, right? Right after they have sex, the guy will be like, oh yeah, well, I got what I came here for, right? Bye, right? Like, you thought this was more than this, like, you're stupid, right? But then after, the girl literally has a fucking mental breakdown and feels insane guilt. She's like, oh, I fucking made a mistake, I shouldn't have done that, I shouldn't have done that, right? And then he'll be like, oh, just kidding, like, I'm not one of those guys who'd do that to you, like, I love you, actually. That part, genuinely, the only thing in that movie that pissed me off with, like, seriousness would be that, right? Because, like, that's not even the first movie I've seen that in. So I was like, what is this trend in that time period where they're I hated that. Because, like, why wouldn't you just feel like, yeah, I like you. Like, that's why we had sex. Like, you shouldn't feel guilty. Like, this is good. Right? Like, why would you have to, like, traumatize her and then be like, I'm not one of those bad guys? Like, what is wrong with you? So it's a little bit mentally ill, but the villain character in that movie, so basically... this is his current love that he's pursuing. But back when he was in high school, he was in a toxic relationship with this girl. Okay? Which...
You're just spoiling everything to everyone.
Well, you're not gonna watch this, okay? And, like...
Wait, you don't know if they're not gonna watch this?
I mean, if there's, like, a Tamil person listening to this, they definitely have already watched this.
Okay, but we gotta talk about Singles Inferno.
Okay. Let me get it. Anyways, it's just watch this. Like, don't watch it, but, like, watch it. Anyways, the side character, they're trying to hate on the woman, but she's, like, the best part of that movie, and she's hilarious. And I've been quoting her all year, and it's been fun.
Speaking of toxic people and heterosexuals.
And heterosexuals, yes. We're talking about
Singles Inferno.
I think there's a total of 12 episodes. I just finished the 11th episode before I hung out with Amiela this morning. I have a lot of thoughts.
I have been keeping up with it ever since it came out, and
yeah, I've seen like all the seasons, everything.
I don't know what your thoughts are.
My thoughts is I'm disappointed and I'm not as like excited for this outcome.
I agree,
because one, my favorite person on that show, Teo.
Oh wait. This is spoilers.
So if you're watching this and you haven't finished it, skip to like. Well, okay, stop right here because we're gonna start talking. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, skip ahead until we stop talking. We'll be like done. Okay. Anyways, yeah, Teo was my favorite because he's so genuine, like the little flower.
I know,
dude,
that was so cute.
But the thing is, like, when he first came on in the beginning, I was like, this dude's kind of a clown. But, like, he really, like, his consistency, his, like, small, thoughtful
actions. He stuck to her.
Yeah, he
till
stuck
the
to her.
very end.
He never pressured her. I really liked that.
Yes, I appreciate it.
And then even when she, like, turned him down, he was still, the way he handled that was just, like, so, like... I don't know. He just gave me seriously mature green flag, like emotionally intelligent.
Yeah, he's like, I had fun anyway.
I had fun. Like, I was true to myself.
I chose you. I didn't want you to choose me. Like, I wanted you to do it like in your own accord.
Exactly.
And it's like, it's fine that it didn't happen, but I don't regret anything.
I will just say, like, the way he like when they first went to Paradise together and he like lifts her hand up, like,
that was so cute.
There was like small moments where he's being playful. Like, I really like that about his character.
I know.
Like, I find those moments charming.
Oh yeah, I know.
Junso, I will say, first episode I liked him.
I thought he was handsome. I think he's the most handsome for me.
I thought that until he started doing.
Yeah, until he started being fucking weird.
No, he started doing like.
He started mogging. He started mogging.
Yeah, you know the face that Amiela
Walt
does.
Goggin, if you know, you know. I'm doing the face
right now.
But yeah, he mogs.
His like nose just becomes so small, and his like lips are all pursed. And I'm
I think every single one.
And
of them.
he keeps like that one date he had with Xian, where he was like
drunk, or like when they drank a lot of whiskey.
And
then they like slept in the bed together. Yeah. I was like, shocking.
Yeah, I know that has never happened on that show before.
Dude, I think she. Oh, I'm not gonna say anything.
Don't tell me who she picks at the end. Okay. Right?
Okay. Anyway.
I got so many thoughts. Let me just tell you this because I'm like, okay. Basically, their whole date, that second date where, you know, she's like, can you be more sweet to me? Can you do this? And he's just like, this is just how I am.
Yeah, I hate that.
I hated that. That's like the worst thing you could say to somebody.
Exactly.
You know, like looking away, like I don't care what's on your mind, right?
Yeah.
Like, when someone is like bringing up something,
like listen at least. Yeah.
Someone you like, okay? At least, yeah, eye contact is important. If they're saying, can you do this for me? It's not like, it's not even a matter of like you have to change who you are. Like,
and it's just like a matter of. Also, it takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of courage for someone to come up to you and say, "Hey, this is how I feel," and it's just like the fact you don't have to like agree right away, but it's just to like open your heart to the conversation.
You could be like, "Oh, I didn't know I was doing that." Like exactly like the host said, like I didn't know I was making you feel that way, right? Like I'll try. Yeah, I'll try to be what you want, because it's like. It's not even that big of an ask. It's not like a change your personality type ask. It's just like be a little gentler with me, you know? Yeah. Like, and the thing with like him calling her like yeah instead of by her name.
Yeah, I hated that too. And like, she kept asking over and out.
I know, like when you're making somebody like you're asking someone the same thing over and over again. Like to me,
it's just like you
gotta ask more than twice.
Also, the other thing I didn't like about her is she kept describing her perfect man. She said she wanted someone. Basically, who would do anything for her, who would, like, be nice to her, be sweet to her. That's literally Theo.
That's literally
Theo. That's what
I was thinking. I was like, he's gonna be sweet and gentle to you. He's
already proven.
Jokes. He's like,
that he's like gives you space when you need it. You know what I mean? He never pressures you to do it. Like
he does like the small little actions to make you feel love. Like, I'm sorry, bring Theo here. Like,
I know. Like
that man deserves like a proper like.
I know.
He was underappreciated like hell.
Yeah, but I think she just didn't find him attractive.
Probably. Yeah. I mean. Yeah. The other guy, Jungsu, he's okay.
He's like a master male manipulator.
You think he's that?
Well, like I feel like he's just boring, and Loki.
I think he's boring.
He's giving like Christian. You know what I mean?
I have something to say about him. You know, he went on that date with that other girl, Yujin, like a friend date.
Yujin.
Like he wanted to pick Xion, but she picks.
Oh yeah.
And then so he's
the one who makes a lot of like vroom, vroom, like those sounds. Okay, she's really cute.
I actually don't think she's cute. I think she's incredibly cringe. I don't like her.
I feel like she's so misunderstood because Xion was like swinging on that swing by herself, and I was like, oh, she's swinging. But then when she was doing it, she's like, bitch, that bitch is crazy. Like, look at her looking for attention. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like they were being ageist because she's the eldest.
Really interesting point. I just think her Aegyo shit is really cringe. Like, I can't stand the way she does that cute shit. But anyways, that's not the point. So he takes her on the date, or to paradise, because I'm going based on the English translation, but he says, like, he calls her harmless, and then says that she's like his Donald Duck, and says she's like his little Oompa Loompa that can just sit on his shoulder. I was like, why are you, like, making her sexless? Like, a sexless little, like...
Loki, I think she thought he was flirting.
I was like, why is she laughing right now? Like, this is cute. Like, he's calling you, like, a bald monk. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, he's calling...
And, like, literally he's telling her, like... She's like, oh, like, what charm... Like, because he likes Xion and she's trying to be a good friend. She's like, oh, like, what about her do you find charming? Like, what do you like about her? Right? And he's like... Oh, like, all these qualities about her that any man would like. Like, what? Like, why would you tell this to another girl? Like, this other girl has all the qualities that any man would like, but not you, though, because you're like a fucking Oompa Loompa that I like on my shoulder.
Yeah.
Like what?
I think, like, behind the scenes...
And she's laughing.
No, I think behind the scenes, they don't show us in the edits, but I feel like they have, like the thing with, like, what's her name again? The girl.
Oh, Yujin,
yeah. She and Theo had, like, confirmed, like, oh, we don't like each other that way. Like, I feel like behind the scenes, they have, like, said to each other that, like, hey, like, I'm not really, like, interested in you. Or, like, they've, like, approached it that way.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like, that's what I'm, like, that's my theory.
Well, my assumption is, like, based on even on their conversations, they hinted in the show.
Yeah, because he's, like, because I think she had asked him, like, well, why did you ask me here? And he's like, oh, I just needed to decompress. Like, basically, is what he said, right?
Oh, yeah. Like,
he's like, oh, yeah, I'm fun, right? I'm fun, is what she was saying.
Yeah,
right?
He was telling her, like, you're a fun person to be with. But, like, that's all great. Like, oh, I'm having fun with you.
Yeah, it's the way he says these things.
But, like, why would you be like, you're my Donald Duck, you're, like, an Oompa Loompa? Like, I'm sorry if a man called me an Oompa Loompa, I would fucking murder them.
Yeah,
Don't
and
fucking
he has, like, a rat
shit.
teeth, too. That's what I didn't like.
He does have rat teeth. And who else did I have something to say about?
Oh, you know who got fucking, like, oh, I like hate everything that happened to her. The little girl with like the brown hair, like to me, she's the prettiest.
The red hair?
Yes.
Yeah, she is the prettiest.
She's the prettiest.
The Beijing or whatever.
Yeah,
and she's with that tall guy who doesn't ask.
Yucky guy.
Yeah, he doesn't ask her any questions
no
about herself.
questions.
And like the episode I just watched, she like asked him like, you know, like we were talking about our dreams or whatever, and I said that like my dream was to, you know, like have a family,
yeah.
like get married, have a family, be a good mother. And then when you told me about your dream, he was basically like, oh, I don't care if I'm single or not. I just want to do like my cult. I want to impact the culture.
Yeah.
And the whole time he's talking about himself, doesn't ask her a single thing else about herself. I mean, even just saying that in response to her dream is like, we can't be together.
Not just that. He said he doesn't want kids. He doesn't want a family.
Yeah.
And like, just like, and then continue to talk about his dream.
When she like asked about it, like, why did you say that?
Yeah.
He was like, oh, like I usually like tell the opposite to like see if like a girl can prove me like otherwise, like convince me like this life is better. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I'm not gonna convince you to impregnate.
I'm sorry, I hate like a man that won't ask you questions. Like,
I know. And she's so nice. Like, she's so sweet. Like, yeah, I really think she deserved better.
She's super pretty.
She's like the prettiest.
Yeah.
Not to like, you know, to me she's the prettiest.
To me also she's the prettiest. I mean, they're all pretty girls, but
yeah,
like,
she should have gotten with that host that used to be in the cast member.
Yeah. They would be really,
because he really liked her.
That's right.
Yeah.
In the beginning, they would suit each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I also was just thinking, like,
you gotta finish the episode.
Yeah, I'm finishing this tonight, obviously. But no, I was just thinking how, like, you know, I'm a kind of a argumentative person who has conflict, and I was just thinking, damn, it would be so nice to like anytime I have an argument, like to like pause it and rewind and see just the way they had like Jinso and Xian's date and like where they missed the mark with each other, even though maybe that's not their intention, but like to like see, you know, where the misunderstandings were happening. It's like, damn, I wish I could like rewatch my own life and see. Yeah. I'd be getting in arguments.
Damn, you just want to like Kim Kardashian yourself. You want a live crew
follow me so I can analyze myself and then make better decisions in the future.
I think I'm showing signs of mental illness.
No, literally though. I think I shared this meme that on my story like last week, but it was like me when I have full discussions with myself, like multiple people, and I'm like, dude, maybe I'm showing signs of mental illness.
I used to do that so often when I was a teenager, and I genuinely thought I was crazy. And then Dan Howell, Dan is not on fire, Dan and Phil, he made a video talking about how he does this same exact thing, and I felt so less alone.
Yeah,
honestly,
I
shout
used
out
to
them.
think I was like the most unique person in the world,
and then
you find out that not
there's
one single
unique experience.
Yeah, not one original experience. Like
yeah.
I used to do this thing where I'm like listening to like music in a car ride, and I'm like Tamil songs and stuff. I'm imagining myself like performing that song, dancing and performing the song fully on stage at a school thing, and everyone's like, "Damn, she's so good at singing and dancing." Did you ever used to do that shit?
Maybe.
And then I saw a post that was like everyone was doing that. They were like, "Damn, like I used to do that too." I was like, "Damn, not even this is really."
Maybe not like singing, but probably like performing.
Well,
or something,
I don't know because my context is like with Indian songs, right? Because often it comes from a movie, right? So in my brain, it'd be like this whole scene going up to like the performance, and then this is.
It's giving Camp Rock.
God.
I'm not shitting on your dream.
So
it could still happen.
No.
We're giving Varsha a platform here. Could still happen. Anyway, we're
Notting Hill.
I
think it's time.
It's time.
Yeah.
Rolling up my sleeves.
I think.
Okay, context. I like Notting Hill. They do not.
Yeah. So there's more to this. So our friend Rena rewatched Notting Hill. We will have them give their opinion.
We're gonna insert their opinion here.
Right. Because they can't be with us in person today, unfortunately. But yeah, so they were watching it for the first time. I had seen this movie back in like high school. Don't fan it.
I was trying to get it away from you.
Okay.
Filipino food.
I can't even remember.
Sorry.
I watched it back in high school, and like when I was watching a bunch of like those American rom-coms. I did not like it. I mean, I didn't hate it, but I was like, whatever. Like, it's Julia Roberts, Hugh Grant. I have some shallow opinions about Julia Roberts, that borderline misogyny. I think she looks like Phineas from Phineas and Ferb.
Bruh, that's...
Sorry, Julia. Like, I don't find her...
What? She looks so beautiful.
She looks like a PTA mom that will snitch on me based off of racism.
Dude, have you seen her...
I don't. Sandra Bullock is beautiful.
They're
I had both of them confused for the longest time.
Dude,
Sandra Bullock is gorgeous. Julia Roberts, not
you
my
know,
vibe.
they're
I don't
comparing
like her.
my girl Iowa DeBree to modern day Julia Roberts.
Huh?
Yeah, they're calling her the Julia Roberts because she's the people's princess. You don't think she's pretty? Like, I think she's so pretty. I think
she looks like a racist snitch. Like, I feel like she would carry
She looks
on me.
Gorgina.
Nah, I don't like her nose. I don't like the shape of her mouth. Like, sorry, see, this is misogynistic.
Okay, you're
She's not for
literally
me.
just being misogynistic.
Right, I just don't like her, okay? I don't like
Okay,
when I'm watching a rom-com, I just want to be invested
so
in...
you should be in Singles Inferno because you only care about the looks.
No, that's not true. Okay, no, I'll prove you wrong right now, because Hugh Grant, okay? Most people think Hugh Grant is beautiful. Objectively, I will say he's a good-looking man. Subjectively, I don't trust that man.
Okay, can we talk about the movie?
No, I must say, if I was going to cast anybody to play, is it Humbert?
Humbernick.
Like the pedophile from Lolita, if I was going to cast anyone to play that pedophile, I would cast
Varsha.
Shut up! I would cast Hugh Grant because he has the perfect look of like this like pedophile. He's objectively like decent looking. I like the curly hair thing that he had on.
But objectively, they always cast someone handsome for Humperdinck because it makes you think about your morals.
What do you mean?
Because
because they're like, are you on the side of like,
yeah,
this
and
pedophile?
it's like.
See, so
it makes him more likable. It makes him more likable. Yeah.
Anyway, I just found this movie. I mean, when Rena was watching it, I watched like the last 30 minutes with them, and like I kind of like Rena did not like this movie. Well, they will talk about their opinions more, but basically,
I didn't know that like only
like
Rena had the strong opinions.
I just found this movie. I mean, I heard it later that many people really rated it high. And
I mean, I
that's
only
the part
give it a
that
4. I didn't give it wasn't like spectacular. I think
I'm saying like on like lists and stuff, like people like this movie, and to me, I think like what drove me towards the movie was like the whole like, oh, he owns like a bookstore, blah blah blah, like blah, but like it's very like Wattpad story. It's very like I don't know, like she's a dick to him. I feel throughout this movie.
I mean, make your case. Make your case.
Like she's very like
Besides the fact that she looks
no,
ugly.
she comes into his life and like I just feel like he's passive throughout this movie. He doesn't take any action, right? Like all this stuff like happens to him, and then she's indecisive like the whole time, and then she's like even at the end, like he goes to her like shoot or whatever, like after he's like, you know what, I'm not gonna take this anymore, like whatever, and then he ends up going back to like her. I don't know, I just felt like I don't like when characters are very like passive. Like I think they should like have some sort of spine for their own.
Yeah, I
was not convinced of their chemistry or their love.
Yeah, that's exactly how I felt like the first few watches I did. I've seen it multiple times.
Oh, and you really like it?
I hated it the first few times. Like I hate. Like
okay,
I'm
what
in the
was
same
your
boat.
reason to hate it the first few times?
I hate it. Like I agree with you. I like that he didn't. It wasn't grandiose. Like his actions weren't grandiose enough for me. And in the end, it's like her that like tells him that she loves him, and like to me, I'm like, oh, the guy always has to do it. Like it's like she said sorry.
How can she say that she loves him? Like they barely know each other.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like I hated the fact that they barely knew each other, and somehow she's like, I love you and I want to make babies to you.
Like they get married at the end, I think.
Yeah, they have a baby. Like she's pregnant. And I thought that shit was crazy. Like I was like, damn, I'm like, maybe I just don't get it. Like, that's literally what I was thinking.
Doesn't she, like, cheat on her, like, partner with him?
Yes. But it turns out the partner's, like, an asshole, too. Oh, it's, like, who's, like, Alex Baldwin? It's just funny as fuck. I forgot that he was in that movie.
Baldwin. Didn't he?
He killed someone with he thought a prop gun. Did you not know that?
I do. He thought it was...
That was last year.
Well, he thought it was a prop gun, and then he shot them anyways.
I think... I don't know the story.
He's a crazy man.
Yeah, I think he thought that it was a prop gun, and then he killed the person, and then
he
that
just
person
looks like a villain.
Yeah, but anyway, I completely agree with. That's how I felt the first time. But when I rewatched it, I found it a lot more charming if you think about it in the context that it's British humor. Like, it's so dry. Like, it's like you can barely... You miss it. You miss it if you don't look. But it's like... It takes, like, such an absurd concept of, like, a celebrity coming to your house and kissing you, leaving... And then, like, she comes back and she wants to hang out with...
It's such a Wattpad story.
Exactly! But, like, that's...
For boys!
But, like, that's the Wattpad story that we used to eat up. You know what I mean? It's, like, this type of story that I wish would have happened to me with One Direction. Wait, I let you fucking talk, bitch!
No, I was gonna say it's because of your One Direction fan.
Yeah, exactly. But also, I think, to me, like... Okay, here's when the Love Actually thing comes in. And here's where the apartment thing comes in.
Okay.
The reason why I like those movies is because I love a fucked up, messed up character. I love when someone is, like, unapologetically nasty. I love... Not that, like, I agree with what they're doing. I like when... Like, even a book. Like, that's why I love Sharp Objects. Because it's such, like, a complex character. Like, she's obviously, like, hurting herself. Like, why would you hurt yourself? But, like... And it's not that I'm, like, agreeing, like, oh, like, this fucked up girl is, like, doing all these, like, dark things or whatever. Or, like, this guy, like, cheats on her wife because the assistant is, like, hot or whatever. I think something that I enjoy in movies is the bravery to be nasty. And what I mean by that is, like... I like when this is why I was going to talk about, like, why it's going to come back to, like, the movies that I think humanity, like, the way that we, like, portray, like, humanity sometimes can be, like, black and white, like, you know, like Blindside or whatever. It's, like, good and bad. But, like, no one person is good, period, or bad, period. We do bad things. And I think I like when, like, rom-coms or, like, movies like that are funny about it. And I'm not explaining myself properly, but let me go back to Love Actually, right? Like, I hated that, like, plot line of, like, Alan Rickman, like, cheating on his wife, but, like, the whole narrative of Love Actually is that Christmas fucking sucks. Everybody fucking sucks. But it's in those small sliver moments where things are good. Same with Perfect Days. When you can find beauty in Christmas. You can find beauty in the family that you choose. You can find beauty in, like literally just, like, your longtime fucked up crush of your, like, your best friend's wife.
See,
like,
wait,
you know what I mean?
want to say something about that.
Okay.
Because I also have been thinking about this lately, and I too love a fucked up character. I guess it's like, I watched this film movie called Dragon recently, and it's about this guy who's just, like, you know, like, when he's in high school, he's, like, the nice guy. On some insult shit. He's, like, the nice guy. Then he, like, gets rejected by the girl he likes, and he decides he's gonna be a bad boy or whatever the fuck. And then, like, in college, he's just, like, absolutely awful, right? And post-college, like, you know, fighting, this, that, never studies, but he has the girlfriend. Post-college, his girlfriend is like, I mean, you're a piece of shit. Like, you don't have a job. You know, you have no future. You're kind of, like, a failure, because he's, like, stealing money from his parents. Like, unemployed, doesn't try. He's just, like, every decision he makes, just, like, it gets progressively worse. Like, he does, like, evil shit. And in the first half of this movie, though he was doing all this evil shit, it was funny and enjoyable to watch. And, like, the day before I watched that movie, I was talking about how, like, I wish there were more Tamil movies with just, like, absolutely freak loser, like, piece of shit, like, horrible women characters, like a girl who's just, like, a complete dick, unredeemable, right? And I'm watching this movie with my brother, and I'm like, damn, if he was a woman, this is what he was like. If he was a woman, like, this is the type of character you'd be looking for. And honestly, yeah, like, I want to see, like, a freak loser absolute asshole. But the thing is, like, it's that I want, like, an ending that's realistic. Like, I want, like, the plot to be realistic. But, when I see a horrible person win versus a horrible person who does horrible things, deals with the consequences of their action, right?
Mm-hmm.
I like it when they do the horrible shit and then they face the consequences of their
Yeah.
action. Not necessarily in this,
I mean,
like,
yeah.
change your ways type.
Yeah, I mean, I think
context,
it
but-
depends on, like, the context of what kind of horrible person. I mean, like, this type of horrible person is just, like, cheating or, you know,
I mean,
like,
like, I
being
don't
just, like,
remember, like, if it was Alan Rickman. I remember, like, Keira Knightley's character, it's, like...
Yeah, it's just, like, weird,
It's, like... Wasn't it, like, a brother
Yeah,
of,
his
like...
best friend's wife. He was in love with his best
Yeah,
friend's
like,
wife.
that type
That
of
type of
shit.
freak. Yeah, like, you know what I mean?
I don't know, for me, like... With Dragon, I had fun watching that,
Mm-hmm.
and then the ending really, really pissed me off because it didn't even wrap the story up, to my opinion. But, like, something like Love Actually, I genuinely was miserable sitting through the entirety of that movie. You know, when,
I mean,
like,
that's what you're supposed to feel.
but, like, even with The Apartment, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was, like, not as satisfied with the ending
I think-
like you
yeah.
were. But overall, I was very engaged and I really liked watching
Yeah.
that movie. And I was very, like, invested in these characters'
Mm-hmm.
stories in a way that I just wasn't with Love Actually. I was like, God, tell these people to die. Like, that's how I felt watching Love Actually.
Yeah,
So
I mean, I get it. Like,
It's like that movie.
this is just my case. Like, this is
Yeah.
how I feel about it.
Yeah.
And, like, back to, like, what's the movie called?
Notting Hill.
Yeah, Notting Hill. Like, to me, I think a rom-com, to me, doesn't have to be realistic. Actually, I love when it's absurd. Like, I love Sleepless in Seattle just because it's absurd. Like,
Yeah.
you're listening to a guy, you fall in love with a guy on the radio, you write him a letter, and suddenly, like, you're together. Like, that's
Yeah.
so crazy. I think that's what I look for in rom-coms. And, like, it's so hard to replicate that type of, like, absurdity because, like, everything's, like, corporate rom-com nowadays. But, like, those old rom-coms, like, this one specifically, like, I like that it's just silly and, like, it doesn't take itself seriously. I like when, like, a romance, and it's supposed to be funny. It's literally a rom-com, you know what I mean? It's, like, absurd. It's literally a Wattpad story. But I think they did it right, where it's, like, the other thing I really like about, like, old rom-coms like Notting Hill too is that they show that these people have lives besides, like, this love life. I like that they showed, like, what's his name? Floppy? What's his real name? Yeah, the floppy hair guy.
Oh, Hugh Grant.
Hugh Grant. Like, I like that he showed his friends, and I like that they showed that he had, like, a support system. And like, even though, like, she was shitty and, like, you know, she was technically cheating.
See,
like,
I
mean,
feel
like,
she
that's,
would
like,
be the type of character, like, if it was him to do that, she would really have a problem with it. Like, that's
Yeah.
why I couldn't, like, I didn't like her, because it didn't feel like two messy people coming together, right?
yeah, I think, well, no, I think, like,
Like, Dinner in America would be a great example of two messy people
Yeah.
coming together, and
Okay.
it works. Like, it's not necessarily about, like, two conventionally attractive people, and but, like, it's, like, two random people who are completely different to
but
each
I think
other,
that's
but-
what, I mean, they're two different, you can't compare Dinner in America to Notting Hill. I mean, it's about, like, this celebrity. It's, like, this well-renowned, she's literally, like, fucking Natalie Portman. It's, like, Natalie Portman comes to
But
Varsha.
technically, in this, it's, like, he's
Wait,
not a celebrity
I'm just
for her
telling
too,
my
though.
opinion. This is my opinion.
I know, but, like, isn't it, like, he's a celebrity for her, too? Because, like...
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I think,
Like,
like,
that's her Wattpad story.
no, literally, that's like a Wattpad story for, like, the both of them. And I think that, like, to me, like, I think, like, in the past, like, I kind of, like, misunderstood that it's, like, not realistic, like you said. But, like, in the end, like, it's not like You've Got Mail where they destroy each other's
Wait,
lives.
you're talking about Sleepless in Seattle or
Notting Hill. Like, in the end, like, I don't think they destroy each other's lives, like, in, like, You've Got Mail. You know what I mean? Like, they don't bring each other down. They just, like, at the end figure out, like, hey, like, this is crazy. We've gone through crazy shit. And I literally am a famous girl, but I'm just a girl. And I'm standing in front of you asking you to love me. Is that not enough? You know what I mean? Like, it's so absurd. Like, the whole thing is absurd.
But I did like that line.
Yeah.
And I like that delivery, but...
I think the whole idea of it is absurd. The entire, like, way that it comes up to it is crazy. But, like, I appreciated the charm that it brought, and I really enjoyed it, like, the fifth time that I watched it. I think you just have to keep, like, it's like an Olivia Rodrigo song. Like, you have to listen to it a couple of times for it to make sense.
Maybe I need to rewatch it. For
Yeah.
me, it felt like I don't like it when it's, like, it feels very unbalanced of a relationship.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I think when you see like the natural, like how it developed, like even if it's a crazy, like take Sleepless in Seattle. I actually like that movie a lot, right? I thought it was fun, even though it's quite ridiculous.
But also, there's a power imbalance between them. I think that's what is
in this,
because she's famous and he's not. He's nobody.
I think her excuse, like I felt like she was being unfair to him the whole time.
I think that's the whole point,
felt like
too.
He was like a pushover, and I don't like a pushover character.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Actually, that's so
what
true.
I was gonna say.
With The Apartment, I felt the same way.
Yeah.
I was like, don't be a bitch. Like I don't like a pushover. In real life, I don't like one. In movies, I don't like one. Something about like, to me, it's like, because I personally am very like, if I don't like something, I'll say it. Yeah, right? And it's like, and I'm willing to kind of discuss and argue with just about anybody. So I think that when I see someone who just is like very passive and just very like meek, but it's like sometimes it's like it's so it's like stand up. I know. Like, I mean, but that like sometimes like the stories like. It's good to have different perspectives. I know you don't like completely agree with their actions, but you know, back to like the whole SZA thing, the reason why I like Control is because there's vulnerability in being weak. Like, just because you don't necessarily want But how can you say that it's love then?
I mean,
if she's just doing shit to him and he's not an
in
active
what context?
Participant.
Like in Notting Hill?
Yeah.
Or?
Like, she happens to kiss and she
mean,
throws her own little tantrum. Like, he's just there. He's not part of the story to me. That's
Notting Hill?
Yeah, and that's the reason why I don't like it. Like, that's why I felt I'm not convinced about the romance, because it felt like all this stuff is happening to him and he's not doing things. Yeah. Well, I think... And that's why when he finally goes and is like, I'm gonna give up, like, I don't want this anymore, like, we were too different. Like, when he, like, stands up to her, I was actually like, oh, like, that's pretty cool. Like, he's standing up for himself. And then he, like, goes back on his word within, like, 30 seconds. And I'm like...
But I feel like I think the reason why, like, it's kind of harder to understand, because there's no, like, giant, grandiose, like... act of love, like in Harry Met Sally or like Sleepless in Seattle, where they finally meet. Like, it's literally just her, because it's like it's like a come up and it goes down. That's the movie, because it's like this, like, you meet a celebrity, wow, I'm hanging out with a celebrity, wow, I'm kissing a celebrity, wow, she's hanging out at my house, wow, wait, we're completely different people. She's a celebrity, I'm nobody, and like I'm just following her around and she's just bossing me around. I don't want this anymore. And then he's like, actually, I don't want this anymore. And then she finds out that, and she's like, wait, come back, I actually like you. And he's like, all right, let me come back for a second. And then she's like, yeah, he was just a fling. And he's like, no, I don't want it. And then he like leaves and he's like completely done with her. And then like she comes back and she's like, it's like a lowdown, even lower than like the first time that they met. It's like, actually, I'm just a girl, and I'm really like, I'm just asking you to love me, and I know that, like, it's the simplicity of that, because it's she's a celebrity, she's a top celebrity, and it's the imbalance of that at the end, she's like, I know this is crazy, like, I'm literally, everybody knows me, but stripped down to its bare, I'm just a girl. And I'm asking you to love me. I choose you. I'm choosing you. You don't have to choose me.
I get what you're saying. Yeah. I think with other examples, I'm convinced. With this example, I just can't be convinced. Like, if you take Harry Met Sally, like, they both are complicated. They both have messy opinions. And they, like, discuss and, like, grow over the years. I mean, they've both quite outdated opinions, in my opinion. Yeah. But, like, the way they're, like, too complicated and different people... And they're messy, and they grow together. Yeah. And, like, the whole thing with her having her break up and crying and this and that. Like, they're messy people. Yeah. They finally come together at the end. And, like, but to me, that's believable because both of them are going through this separate journey as they kind of figure out each other. Yeah. I don't like romances where it feels so, like... I just don't like it when it's, like, one thing is just happening to another person. Then I feel, like, not as invested in, like...
It doesn't feel equal,
It doesn't feel like I'm convinced of them liking each other. Like, for them to get married at the end, like how can you say love? Maybe lust. Like,
I mean, like, they don't show us, like, the rest of it, but, you know, like,
it's just, like, I didn't feel the chemistry. I think it comes down to that. Maybe the characters didn't have that for me. Yeah, maybe it's that I don't like passive people, but... I
feel like maybe a few more watches.
I'll give it another watch.
Because, like, I felt that same way. It was a really forgettable movie to me. And, like, it's not, like, the best. Like it's not my favorite.
What made you want to go back to it is my question. Because after I watched it the first time, I kind of forgot about it until,
Truthfully, It's in Iowa DeBurry's top 4.
Okay,
but
I see.
and I was like, what? Like, I hate this movie. And not because I like have a crush on her or whatever, but like I did like find it's a very different charm. You know what I mean? And it's like not everybody's palate.
Yeah.
It's like an acquired taste. So I get it because I was in that same boat, and it's okay that you don't get it right now, but that's just me.
Yeah, I guess
that's my case,
good.
Rena. Insert Rena's case.
Yeah, we'll insert Rena's case in because Rena was mad.
Hello, I'm Rena. This is my 2 cents about Notting Hill. This movie made me a misogynist. That's it. It was my first time watching a movie. I thought it was going to be like cute, little, fun rom-com movie. It took me fucking 5 hours to finish this movie because it's so bad. It's a 2-hour movie. They spent 2 fucking hours on this movie, and it's so fucking bad. It's just like a bunch of scenes cobbled together, and then we're supposed to be like, oh, it's like so cute. Like, this is such a like a whimsical, fun romance, but it's not. Because like, Hugh Grant needs to grow a fucking spine. He's like, she walks all over this little bitch because he can't say, you're a bad person and you're taking advantage of me. So the beginning of the movie, she's presented as like this ideal, like beautiful woman, like woman of his dreams or whatever. And then that's broken when he realizes that she's cheating on her partner with him. And then that's the point where he needs to stand up for himself and like realize that like she's like an asshole and that his illusion of her is like broken. But like he doesn't. He just lets her walk all over him, and he never like he's always like too nice to her. I don't like it. And then she never fucking apologizes to him. She never apologizes to him for being an asshole and taking advantage of him. No, she doesn't. She never. She does like the like, I'm just a girl standing here wanting blah 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 blah, which is a nice line, but it's wasted on that movie. But she never like actually apologizes like, hey, I was an asshole and I shouldn't have done those things, and like, will you forgive me? Like, there's never that line. Like, it's like a given that he's gonna forgive her, but like she never has to like ask for his forgiveness or like make up for whatever, like all the shit that she did.
Wow, thank you, Rena, for your honorable contribution to our show.
Now you comment down below whether or not you like Notting Hill. Now back to the show.
Yeah, I don't know. I think with rom-coms, I do like to see, what was that one rom-com that came out like maybe a couple years ago of like, I think it was like this black couple in like UK.
Oh, Rye Lane. Yeah, that was very good.
Yeah. Like, oftentimes the genre of rom-coms are so gendered, like heavily gendered, but to just see like two human people come together, I just found that movie refreshing, even though it's like a very simple rom-com.
Yeah, I agree. Also, back to Notting Hill, the roommate, his shirts were awesome. I want his shirt collection. Dude, you said,
I forgot.
It says, okay, so he's been wearing like fucking raunchy ass shirts, basically like I'd fuck you in the bum or some shit like that, like really crazy shit. And then like one time he comes down with a shirt that says I love you, and then Hugh Grant's like, oh, finally a decent shirt. And then he turns around and it says I love you, and in the back it says fancy a fuck.
God.
Like, that shit's funny. I think also maybe because they're British.
Maybe.
Yeah. But
are you saying that I didn't like it because of the...
It adds to it.
Honestly,
the
that's
distaste.
Very, valid. Should British people find love? No.
Should British people exist?
Oh, I did want to say something about Paddington now that we're on the subject of British people.
Oh, yeah, she watched Paddington for the first
time. It was fantastic. I will say that whole movie is just him. He's like an illegal immigrant.
Exactly.
And like, everyone's like, oh, he's so cute though, blah, blah, blah.
No.
But like, I'm saying... I guarantee you the people who are anti-illegal immigration
Should watch Paddington.
would love Paddington, and they
Oh.
would not realize the hypocrisy.
Exactly. It's Paddington is
They're
highly
like, "Oh,
political.
he's so cute, but he's literally a freaking refugee from like, where's he from?
Exactly.
Like Peru.
No, yeah, he's from Peru. He goes back to his country after he has like achieved like refugee like citizen status in the UK. He literally has a passport. Back to in the beginning when we said everything is that deep. We have to think about it.
Yeah, honestly.
Think about it. Anyway.
Yeah, I feel like we've again managed to go over.
Yeah, I think an hour 26 is not as bad as before.
I think it's about the same.
Yeah.
We always
It'll
have to
be
okay, it's time to stop talking. Like,
okay, how about you let us know in the comments below if you like it longer form like this or shorter, and then
we'll
get back to
attempt
it.
to shut up.
Yeah.
We'll attempt to shut up.
We'll attempt to
Well, I mean,
shut
I
up
think
or
in the
yap a
future
little
we're
more.
planning to do like, I mean, obviously this is like a comeback episode.
Yeah.
But, I mean, most weeks I think our plan is to focus on like the movie that
Yeah.
we watched together.
Mm-hmm, exactly.
And like if we have
and
any-
really digest that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think that's it.
Yeah, we'll add in Rena's little take on this movie.
Mm-hmm. And then, yeah, we'll see you again in the next one. I hope you missed us like we missed you. I'm doing heart hands.
Heart hands, I'll do it too.
Heart hands.
Bye.
Okay, see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Daddy, chill.
Skip.
Daddy, chill.
Skip.